Right folks, so we're off to Milton Keynes, down tonight, back up tomorrow. We're taking the Cavalier again because it's the most up together car at the moment, the most economical, the fastest, the best. I really need to sort out the Vectra C, the Omega, the Mark III Astra, and make sure the Vectra B is behaving okay, along with sorting out the GSI. But anyway, let's get on the road. Success! That was a very useful bodge job that I did back about 3 months ago now. I really must fix that properly. Right, let's get on the road. The weather is horrendous. Let's go. Well, I've topped the car up with fuel. Well, I say topped it up. I forgot I'd filled it at the Sainsbury's on the way back from Edinburgh, so I got about 4.5 litres of ESO in it this time. I don't know what that little stutter was about when the car started and got going. Maybe it's one of those random Vauxhall things. We've got 350 miles. And we know from the economy based run that I did the other day, I got as high as 44 miles to the gallon. I reckon I could do better than that. Even pushing on to a little bit harder, 38.5 miles to the gallon, which is good stuff. But tonight, nah. It's pouring with rain, weather's terrible, I'm late leaving, I need to get where I'm going, so we're going to be pushing on a bit. Oh man, Sat-nav says a 6-minute delay at Hindford Bridge. Boys, oh, you're damn right it's 6-minute delay. Oh. I'm now sitting in this queue. I was just thinking about that funny start that it did. That's maybe an indication that the coolant temp sensor's on its way out. Now, this had a coolant temp sensor in it a few years ago, but it was working all right. And given when we went on with the Vectra and getting 22 ml to the gallon out it, this better not be dropping its coolant temp sensor now and we get more of the same, because I have got in stock up the road, I've got 2 Bilstein ones, a top ran one and also a genuine Bosch one, because I figured the Omega's never had one on it and the GSI will probably be needing one when it comes back out anyway, so I sort of stockpiled them. But with the mileage that this thing's doing, I should probably just go and change it anyway. But you would, I mean, the Vectra, when it was overfueling, it would still keep going okay. When these start overfueling, nah, you'll soon know all about it, it'll foul the plug. Well, the lorry is going to the left. Will we go the right side way tonight? I think we will. Not been that way for a couple of times. Something I really like about this Cavalier, and a lot of them that I've owned, is that once you sort the suspension out and get the handling improved, they're really good for covering A roads fast. The 4-cylinder ones are always the best handling because they've not got as much weight over the front end compared to the V6s. And even this right now, the roads are soaking wet and they've been dry for a bit, so it's a bit greasy. And I've only got the Accelera tyres on them, which are probably about a 5 out of 10. That's us just coming up to the M74 junction now. This bit of road to the right is about the very last bit of dual carriageway from the old A74, which exists. I'll do a video one day on that road, it's fantastic. It's kind of like a ghost road, because a lot of bits of that, this major trunk route, this dual carriageway, you can still see bits of it. And the road, it's called the B7076, that was what it was renamed that, and you can see it looks like it was a lot more important than it is now. A lot of traffic coming down here. Right, come on. We're going up onto the motorway. Keynes Row. I've got a Dutch Volvo came flying up behind me there as well. This is a big steep hill for trucks to tackle as well. Okay, we're having second here. That thing's quick. Let's see how quick. To Penrith, made pretty good time, good clear run down the motorway. It's pouring with rain. I'm going to be taking the wheels off when I get back up the road and putting the 14s back on, because I'm doing some filming up at John O'Groats and doing the North Coast 500. I'm quite looking forward to that because there's a shake coming off the 15s. Is it open? Doesn't look very fucking open. I don't even know if it is. It fucking doesn't look very open. It looks very shut. Oh, what? Well, the KFC is shut, and the B&M right beside it is shut as well. It'd be nice if this petrol station was open. I could get myself a sandwich.
At least 12 FBI informants.
That's alright, got a £3.50 meal deal. Blank the road. Wonder what time that shuts at. That's the last 2 times I've came by there. Hasn't been open. Just rolled over 200 miles. Favourite podcasts, Top Flight, Time Machine, especially the Roy of the Rovers Odyssey. It's fantastic, and I thoroughly recommend getting the Patreon.
And a real one as well. Look at the lane discipline. Isn't it fantastic? No! This is telling us the lanes are going down from 4 to 1. See what happens
this lovely road closure, which I'm sure is absolutely necessary. Quality! Somebody driving with their DRLs on. No backlights on the vehicle at all. In fact, that's not even DRLs, it's got a headlight out and all. Good grief. This is a pain in the arse of a diversion. Should have gone down the M6. Although that's not to say that that wouldn't have a closure on it as well. Go down here, straight over the next roundabout. 1.5 miles until we're back on the M1. I don't believe it, it's closed again! Not content with shutting the M1 at one point on the journey, they've done it twice. Smell for the fuels, oh it's sickening. Oh it's really overpowering smell of jobbies. Oh it's horrible. Here we go. Magical tour number 2. 25 mil to go. Here we go, back onto the M1 again. Still in the fucking roadworks.
Average speed monitoring ahead. Speed limit 60.
Let's go over here and park it beside that shitey Corsa. This'll do. What a pain in the arse that was. Well, seems okay. That was a decent start. No misfiring or anything. That seems fine this morning. No misfires or kangarooing or anything. Milton Keynes, home of the dual carriageway and roundabout. I think this is a good setup for a new town. I think they did well with this. A decent speed. Found the car park. This'll do it. Alrighty, so we're now back in the UK and I'm out driving a Scania 460R Super. Here beside me is Andy Hatter, who works for Scania. What's your job title, Andy?
I'm a handover specialist for South East.
Andy is taking me a pretty challenging route around Milton Keynes. We're trying to drive around every roundabout in the whole town as far as I'm aware. What we're doing is there are 6 truck journalists out driving this truck and a 560S, and we are being scored as to how well we do, and apparently the staff at Scania have taken bets on who might do the best.
I've got the odds on, I know who's going to win.
So I'm hoping that I'm going to do alright here and nobody's going to mess me up by cutting me up at a roundabout and forcing me to go and tramp the brakes on when I don't want to be. So this truck, the 460R model, this has got 2,500 Newton meters of torque, which is quite a substantial amount. It wasn't so long ago where that torque level was reserved for trucks of a much higher horsepower output. We're not heavily freighted at the moment, which is nice for a test truck because they tend to go and nail them to the ground. But the most noticeable thing about this truck that you would probably see straight away is it's got the compression release brake on it instead of the retarder. So if you're used to driving Scanias with the old sort of engine brake on it, this is really good. This is super powerful. It's just as good as the retarder. But what's even better about it is it's not so sort of violent and snatchy, because retarders are amazing when you're loaded at full, loaded to the max, but in the wet when you're running light and things, you've got to be quite respectful of them and maybe only keep them on stage 1, stage 2, lest the truck starts to want to go sideways. Aside for that, it's got the updated cruise control on it and eco roll, whereby I can just tap the throttle when we're going along and it'll automatically drop it into eco at any point that I choose, which is a nice touch. It also has the updated steering in it as well, which has got a nice feel to it. It's just the right weight to it and nicely responsive. And with this being an R cab, the R of course being my favourite, being a bit lower to the ground, yeah, I feel right at home at this. So I'm going to have to blag it for a week along with the 560. How am I going to get the time to do it? I don't know. But we're in the process of driving across 7 roundabouts at the moment, one after the other, to try and avoid using my brake pedal as much as possible. So we're going to run to the right to the stadium.
Yeah, full brakes.
When would that be on? I'll have to guess and take the one furthest over, because it's not explaining to me on the lines on the road there if I can take the one across. I'm not sure I can.
So if you follow this one in,
Yeah.
and then sort of stick in the middle, you should be alright. Then you can just...
Ah, it does that, is the right thing. I've got to go right the way round onto the... What lane now? Yeah. Right, so this should take me over here. There we go. That's it, I want to go in this lane here.
Yeah, that's it.
Coming across. We're alright, we're alright, we're alright. No, that's a bit sketchy that. I'm not
weird,
sure
isn't it?
about that setup now.
Yeah, you should be able to cut round.
Where are you going? You're good to put your indicator on.
Last minute.
What is it? You got a company car?
Me, yeah, I've got a Skoda Octavia.
What model is that?
New one, it's really nice. It's a SEL.
Nice.
What's the mileage on your car now then?
30 pence. I might think of that one, 164,000.
Oh really?
It's done 6,000 miles since I brought it back on the road on the 30th of December. So it's been busy. Like, I put a clutch in it the other week.
Yeah.
I need to do the timing belt on it because that's coming up for renewal.
Can you drop them out of the bottom like you used to on the Astra?
You can do, yep, but I didn't do it on that because I thought my flywheel was a different type.
Oh,
As
right.
it turned out I could.
Clever idea on it. Is that
Probably.
yours there?
Yeah, that's my
Oh,
Cavalier.
awesome. It's just nice to see a classic car now the other day.
I get some looks on the road. Sometimes you're going along. In fact, there's a guy in a Skoda Octavia VRS, a new one, and he was you get them to sit on your shoulder on the motorway, and you're thinking, what's this dick doing?
Just admiring.
I just basically admire me. Like,
Yeah.
You're going to come in here and you're going to notice me. People do like to just scoot around the back of trucks.
I think they're getting worse. I think
Oh, no,
people-
right. People forgot to drive.
Yeah.
They forgot how to drive during lockdown.
Yeah. There's no patience in people anymore. They don't give you any space, so you can't even make a mistake anymore because.
That torn-faced friggin' disasters.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really pretty windy, but at least the sun's out. Hope I've done well there. There was only one roundabout where I came up on it a bit quickly off a 50-mile-an-hour limit, so here's hoping I'm at the very least in the top two. If I'm not, I'll be disappointed. Well, that was a good day at Scania. I got to drive the new 460R, very nice, and I also won the journalist driver score contest, getting 95%. Person that came in second got 77, so I'm getting some sort of goodie bag of stuff sent up to the house. Nice! What else? Oh yeah, I got my normal banana yogurts, and look, exciting new developments in banana yogurt technology. Banana split flavour. So I'm going to head back north to Scotland now, but not before I go to the Taco Bell, which is just along the road from here, because I do like Taco Bell, but it's very hard to find in the UK. There's one at my work head office in London, it's Sutton. So let's get on up the road. Hopefully there's not any more stupid road closures. What are we going to get? I do not like the cup Taco Bell have given me. It's got Pepsi Max all over my genitals. Potential, which I do not want.
Safety camera van. Warning, average speed monitoring ahead. Speed limit 70.
Trying to enjoy eating this burrito, and all of a sudden there's a dreadful smell of jobbies. Fuck's sake. Driving conditions right now, all this spray, a bit of bright sunshine coming in there as well.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So, what were they going to say?
I wouldn't want much, sorry? No, definitely not. No, definitely not. Fuck, my car's just broken down. Nicky, what's happened to it? I don't know. I know it doesn't seem to want to start all of a sudden, it's just cut out. I'll have to go. Cheers, I'll have to go now. under the bonnet. I just got off the motorway just at a bit of slip road.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see it was still getting petrol at the bleed screw, so I wiggled a few plugs and things like that, and it looks like it's maybe shaking the plug loose on the coil pack, maybe, because it just went boom, like all power went to it, dead. And it was trying to move there, so I unplugged and plugged a couple of things, made sure a couple of wires were okay, and pushed that plug on, and it's fired up again, and it's all right now. Just ran. That was well sketchy. Been in the outside lane there, boom, suddenly complete loss of power.
Warning, fixed safety camera.
Nothing at all, so managed to get across and off to the end of a hard shoulder at the slip road there, which I'll probably get off the dash cam, and had a poke about underneath the bonnet. It was still getting fuel at the bleed screw. I think the plug had vibrated itself loose on the coil pack. I think that's what's wrong with it. But when I said earlier on that it had a bit of a funny start yesterday, wonder if that was it. Maybe not. It's not been making the perfect contact, maybe? Scary anyway. I'm now on a section of smart motorway. Tib shelf services 1, Woodall 14. I think we'll go into tib shelf in a mile up here. And I'm going to take my contacts out, use the loo, and go and have a poke about under the bonnet and just make sure everything's as it should be. Must have been that coil pack plug. It said in Waze this was 150 something. I'd be surprised if it was. I come in here every night when I had that Scania 530 in January. It's a good parking spot and there it's always pretty quiet. Right, station of petrol. Well, we're here now, so no matter what it is, I'll be getting it. Straight shot onto the A66, here we go. And we're back at Penrith again, where we failed to get a KFC last night, but did manage to get a sandwich. This traffic light's a dick. This goes to red if you're not quick round. You get caught at it. Yay! No such problem tonight. Slidey road. Well, that's good. The A66 was nice and clear. Waited at the red light. Now he's going to try and come round me there. No, he did come round. Look at the traffic as well. Baba baby. That's us back home again. 715 miles racked up. Car sitting on 164,707 miles now. We did have a little hiccup this time with the wiring plug on the coil pack coming off, but fixed within a minute. just be thankful that I was able to get stopped on a piece of hard shoulder and it wasn't a live lane and smart motorway.